Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Flight Pass. My name is Simon. Hope you're doing good today. We'll just wait for a few people to join in a little bit early. Give me a good opportunity to explain to everybody what we do here. We use this flight simulator, the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, to fly around the one-to-one recreation of the Earth, and this allows us to check out some of the sites, key sites of history. So what I'm doing at the moment is I stream on Twitch. So if you're watching later, you can watch this later on YouTube. You'll be seeing I'm live. I'm not editing this at all, and we fly around live. So be prepared for some crashes, be prepared for some mistakes, and we basically have a look at moments in history, and it's just a bit of a casual chat. Really, you can join in, say hello, all that sort of thing, and we can go and fly, see where you want to go. Otherwise, because it's a new channel, what I tend to do is I can't talk about flying too much, but I can like talking about history, so I'll try to do that. Guy at the back, nice to see you. Yes, today we are continuing our story about the Battle of Waterloo. We've been doing the 100 days, so it's basically from the time that Napoleon comes back to power after exile in Elba, which was on the 20th of March 1815, and they call it the 100 days, even though it's probably longer, but it's to his eventual arrest and capture and sent to St. Helena. I think it's about 120 days in total, but they call it the 100 days. And so we've been following Napoleon from Elba up to Waterloo. It's a slow thing. I know some people sometimes want to get to the juicy bits, but I like to investigate, and to be honest, because we don't have many watchers, I do this for my own benefit rather than for other people. We've already done, by the way, if you're interested, we've already done D-Day. So we've flown around Normandy. We've looked at some of the camps back in the UK, the airfields. We looked at the possible routes into Normandy for the airborne. So the whole series of those videos are on YouTube, so you can go and check them out. That would be really cool, and you'll find that the stream will sort of hopefully get better as we go along, and we'll get into the swing of things. I don't really know how Twitch works, but it keeps coming up with these things saying goals and other things. I have no really idea what this is. It says I need another 6 to get 80. I don't even know what that even means. But this shows you, just for record, this shows you the I've just lost. I've been talking so much, I've lost the actual connection. Yeah, so it just shows you the size of the stream basically at the moment. Let me see if I can get this back. You can tell the professionalism involved. There we go. So I think what it means is if you are watching, give us a like, and on Twitch, and also on if you're watching later on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and all that sort of stuff. It just helps, I think. Right, so we've got Guy in, and so we'll start. We left yesterday we were flying around. We're in, for anyone new, we're in the Huey, and before we crash. Oh no. Pause. Okay, okay, this is the best start to any stream. Bear with me, I'll be back in a second. Okay, so sorry about that. Hopefully you can hear me. Checking everything is in order. It does get more professional than this, honestly. You can feel safe. Oh, guy at the back. Let's see if you are in the back. Oh, there you are. There's a guy in the back. You got a beard. This is our guy in the back. So we are. Let me sort things out. This is a bit of a weekend stream, so we're a bit cash today. We're going to. We're at Beaumont, so if you remember from previous episodes, this was where Napoleon's central column took off from. It's from that town back there. We're going to swing up north. If you are on Microsoft Flight Simulator, by the way, I'm on the European West server, so you can join me and come and have a fly around the south of Belgium air. And today what we're talking about, which is quite funny actually, because I've named this stream the Battle of Ligny, because for some reason I can't put Quatre into Twitch title, because it says that bra is a rude word. It's the Battle of the Twitch will not name, and the Battle of Ligny. So we're talking about the 16th of June 1815. For people, so you can kind of guess that my target audience is a little bit middle-aged. For people who are not familiar with Flight Simulator, these blue lines here is my flight path, and this would just help me orientate myself as we fly over Belgium. You can see the Belgium landscape is pretty difficult to navigate around because there's not really any distinguishing features. Obviously the roads are one thing, but it's very, very difficult to find these battlefields. And one of the things about the Battle of Ligny and Battle of Quatre and Waterloo itself is the subtlety of the landscape. If we get down low here, you can see that it's very rolling hills, gentle slopes, but it does tend to have rivers with steep banks in it, and these are one of the defining characteristics of this area. So yeah, you have to really be down low to see the subtleties of terrain, and when we get to Waterloo, we'll see the very subtle definition of that ground, and that you'd have to be quite an experienced commander to see the advantages of it, I believe. So we got to the morning of the 16th of June, and this is when we were about 5:30. This is when we got to last time. The Duke of Wellington gets up at about 5:30 in the morning, and he has a breakfast of tea and toast. It's amazing, these sort of details that we pick up. At 6 o'clock, Ney and Grouchy are instructed on Napoleon's plan. And if you remember, Ney has been put in charge of sort of the left-hand side of the army, and Napoleon has put Grouchy on the right-hand side. Now, basically, in terms of what that meant, I think it was like Rail's corps and de Erlon's corps was given to Ney, with some elements of the Guards cavalry, and Grouchy had Lombard and Gerard's corps on the right-hand side, and Napoleon would sit back and he would be in command of the Imperial Guard. And basically the plan of the day that day was to continue to press the Prussians backwards. Napoleon believed that there was one corps of Prussians in front of him under Ziethen, and basically he just expected them to be to continue to retreat, possibly to a place called Gembloux, which was to the north east of Charleroi. And at the same time, he wanted Ney to do the same thing, push up the Brussels road, feel out the strengths of Wellington's army and in that direction. And then depending on who he met first in strength would be how or where he would deploy his reserves and basically the guard. Ney's instructions as well. It was almost like he wanted to get to a place called Genappe. Now we visited Genappe the other day. It's kind of halfway between Quatre and Waterloo, and that was kind of Ney's target for today. He was to get there, but also to place some troops. And once he got there, it was all like pin that sort of Genappe area, and place some troops in a village called Marbais, which we'll come to, and that meant that would shore up Grouchy's left, and so it would allow basically Ney to come to Grouchy's assistance if need be, by committing possibly about, I think it was about 6 divisions in that direction. They could hold the road with one, maybe at Genappe, and then the other 5 divisions could come to Grouchy's aid if need be. At 6 o'clock as well, we see the beginnings of the probes of the French into the Prussian lines to gauge their strength. So we are currently here now at Charleroi. This is where the day begins for Napoleon. He's down here. This complex where the white dot is now was where basically Napoleon spent the evening of the 15th and 16th, the night of, and then he goes to inspect the situation up here towards Sombref. Wellington sets out from Brussels. He's a reserve. He instructed to leave at around about 4 o'clock in the morning, and he passes his reserve. Remember, he had breakfast. He passes them on the road and presses down towards Quatre at around about 10 o'clock in the morning. He passes Picton's division on the road. This is and it's I think it was believed that Picton was ordered to go to Waterloo. That's where there's a fork in the road, and no other instructions were given. Though I believe a lot of there's a whole argument about whether Wellington ordered these people to Quatre or not, or whether it was the Prince of Orange. I think at the end of the day, I think Picton was experienced enough to know the abilities of his troops and where he was supposed to be, who ordered who where. Sometimes it didn't have to be written down. But we can come to that decision there in a moment. At the junction at Waterloo, and Wellington is believed to have had a discussion with his staff just south of the villages where the road splits. It's actually just behind the ridge of Mont Saint-Jean, and he has a deliberation with his staff as to which road to take. The one on the right will go down to Nivelles, and let's just pause here and we'll get the map out. The one on the, if I jump on this here, this map's a little bit easier to read because it has the names, and whereas Microsoft Flight Simulator doesn't. So this is the journey we've already done, 1, 2, 2, these numbers up here, and we're currently at Charleroi, and we're just heading now from Charleroi to Sombref here. Now what's happened with Wellington is he's come down and he's at this junction here at Mont Saint-Jean, and this is where he's ordered his reserve to. Picton's troops are here, and he's deliberating whether to go either down the right fork to Nivelles, which is one of the concentration points of his army. And remember, he's still thinking that this is a feint attack, and the main attack will probably come from Mons. He's not too sure, but what he decides to do is to take the left fork, and because he's getting this talk of from the Prussians that they're engaging the French down at Sombref, and they're concentrating there, so he decides to ride down to this crossroads here at Quatre, and he'll then ride across to Sombref to observe the situation himself. And by the way, this is that so the plans that the French had in the morning was that Ney would take the Quatre crossroads, and they would move a division to Genappe, and they would then move some of these divisions from the crossroads to this place called Marbais, which we see here, and that would be the supporting the left flank of Grouchy, who is coming up from Fleurus, basically to push the Prussians back on. They thought it would be Gembloux. So Napoleon's image in his mind of what's going to happen today, which is the 16th of June, is that Ney would be where this 3 is, with a division at Genappe, and they will be holding these key positions here with support on Grouchy's left flank as Grouchy pushes the Prussians back towards Gembloux. And they were hoping maybe that they could push them back on their supply lines, which went through Namur and then towards Liège. But he didn't believe that he would get the chance to engage with these with one of the armies so soon after crossing the border. So that's the general situation. So yeah, so Wellington's then going riding down, and he's gets to Quatre at around about 10 o'clock. He passes through Genappe. He notes the steep ravine. In fact, what we could probably do is we'll fly that way. So we've got the battlefield of Ligny just ahead of us here. You can see the village. It's actually this area here. We have Fleuris behind us. This is where the French were based. And the front line basically ran from this village here, Bry, to Vangnele, which is here. So all these little villages down here were being used. And the brook, the Ligny brook, basically signified the front line of the Prussians. So down to our right here is where the battlefield of where the French lines up here on the 16th of June. And in the morning of the 16th of June, Napoleon doesn't believe there's only one corps in front of him. So we now turn left here, and we'll head. We can follow the road to Quatre. We'll go up to Genappe, and then we'll turn around and come back again. And whilst we do that, I will just take a quick break. These bits are where I chop it up for the YouTube people, so everyone wave at them. And I'll be back. It's a weekend Saturday chilled out session, just chatting about Waterloo. So if you've got any questions, you've got plenty of time. Bung them in the comments. If you're watching in the future on YouTube, still bung them in the comments, because I will come back and revisit these areas, and I will endeavor to answer any questions if I can, or if you want to show me something, then I'll come back and have a look at it, and I'll just add it to the playlist later on. So I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Enjoy some of the music, by the way. This is my music. It's under the name Piraten, and you'll find these are always at the end of the bits. So I'll be back in a second.